Hey, welcome to my first edition of Lessons for Nate. We're going to show him what Seesmic is and how I use that to follow Twitter and what I do with Twitter and what he can do with Twitter with multiple accounts. So here we go. Let's take a look at my screen. This is what I come in at work every day. I've got my Outlook open and Microsoft Internet Explorer. Then I've got Chrome there, and then I've got Mozilla over here. So I got this open right now. This is my Chrome browser. I'm going to click there, add a new tab. You'll see the Seesmic. Alright, Seesmic for Windows. Here's all the things you can do. The desktop download, lots of different things. The blog. The blog is a great blog about branding yourself in social media. Lots of great stuff on there. But what we do is launch Seesmic Web. And if you set this up correctly, what you're able to do here, Nate, is this is kind of how it divides it out. So you look here, you've got home timeline. This is what my Twitter page would look like. This is all the things that I follow that I'm interested in. Tweet Smarter, Moose Jaw Madness, TV Guide, Social Media Today, Doug Benson, Copy Blogger. That's a buddy of mine, David George. Here's a guy, he's a runner I know. Darren Hardy, more from TV Guide, Runner's World. These are all my own personal interests, okay? Then you go to the next column, and if you set it up, you can look at your Facebook timeline. And these are all the things that I like or friends of mine on Facebook. So 30 Rock, Pure Michigan, Christine Hess, all these people here that I know, Kid Rock. It's a lot of fan pages that I like are right there. Then my buddy Tim Crickon, a picture of his yard, Jackie, Gary, these are all friends. And if I got down here, I'd probably even find Nate and hook that up. But then what you do, as you can see, there's a scroll bar here. You scroll to the right, and this shows you sent. These are the things that I've tweeted. Like when I retweeted Gary V, the best business advice. I just bought a friend Nick, sales answer, how Bitly works. I don't know who that Nick guy is. He's a lot like my friend Nate. Then, here are favorites. This is something Nate I don't think understands. What you do when you have your timeline over here is you follow things all day long. And when you get to an interesting looking article like Winamp, that's not interesting at all. 8 tips for embracing change in social media. Well, that sounds like an interesting topic, an article I would like to read. So on Seesmic, you drag over here and you make this a favorite, okay? And that basically just bookmarks it because you get hundreds, almost 1,000 tweets a day. I'm scrolling up here. And you can't read them all during the day because you got things going on, but you want to kind of bookmark because that sounds interesting. It'll tell you about some changes going on in social media. So back to the scroll bar here, move to the right, and these are my favorites, and there it is. Okay, well, keep a pot of coffee drinkable all day. That was something that I thought was interesting. This is Gary V, the Best Business Bureau. Here is Alt Press. Weezer leaks 2 more tracks from their new album, Death to False Metal and Pinkerton reissue, and then you click on that link and I can go get those songs. I didn't want to do it at work, but I want to just favorite. It's like bookmarking it for later use. Here's an interesting article from Men's Health, sweating at the gym. You're probably not sweating to the oldies, share your workout playlist. I'd like to see what other people are doing. A couple Darren Hardy articles that sounded interesting, something on cool running, Nick Nanton, personal branding, what makes you stand out. These are all things I'm getting to. I will get to them, it's bookmarked them, is how I like to interact. The internet finds me, I just put some things aside, like a stack of papers on my desk that I'm going to get to eventually, and those I'm going to get to eventually, and stuff in that briefcase and stuff in that drawer. So anyways, back here. So those are the things that I've set now as spunkybean. What you can do with Seesmic is you can manage multiple Twitter accounts, and you do that over here in settings. You set up multiple accounts, all right? So you would have a Nate Menendez one, you'd have a sales answer one, and then you would hook your Facebook up so that when you're on this screen and you had a delicious cup of coffee from Caribou and you want to share that with the world, well, you may not want to do it on Facebook, but you do want to tweet it as Don Kovaleski or spunkybean, or then one of my clients is 3 Disciplines, which is a triathlon company. So if I see a good article on training and stretching, I will unclick on Facebook, I will click 3 Disciplines, and then whatever I tweet here tells me how many of my 140 characters I have left, and then I can send the update, and it will go into the 3 Disciplines web stream, so that people will all know that it's a triathlon or training related article. The other thing I think we talked about was how you can shorten links using Seesmic versus bit.ly. So let's just go to, I'll go to my Mozilla is open here, and we'll just go to Yahoo Sports real quick. Nothing's quick. Here's an article on LSU. Okay, I click it. All right, so Miles confounds but keeps on winning. Oh, I want to share this with my friends. So I copy that URL. I go back super quick to Seesmic. I'm going to paste that in there. Control V. Okay, there's the link to the article about Les Miles. And then I hit space, and it automatically shortens it. So you don't even need bit.ly when you have this. You just copy and paste an article in there, and then I would write something like over here, Les Miles is a madman, awesome. And I tweet it. And then I know my friend David George or my Michigan fans who follow me and we tweet back and forth, they're going to be like, oh, we could have had him and not this stupid Rich Rodriguez. And I can even put that in there. Hey, U of M fans, don't you wish you had Rich Rodriguez? So that's how you do that. I'm not going to send that one right now. All right, then what you do, the other thing about Twitter, this is like your inbox. This is where you've been mentioned in a tweet. And there you can see Jeff Smith mentioned me. I just realized I'm a quick Twitter addict. He retweeted me. spunkybean retweeted me. Gary V, he LOL'd. David George says he likes most skinny people, and that was some other conversation we were having on Twitter. I had a comment to Aaron Caro, who I'm a fan of, and he commented back to me, so we went back and forth. So those are where I'm mentioned, so I can see who is kind of tracking me or who is replying to me in Twitter. All right, so now you scroll a little bit more to the right. You look at spunkybean. Who's been mentioning spunkybean? Not a whole lot. Mostly me mentioning myself, my other account. But, you know, every once in a while. Aaron Caro says thank you. So that means people in his timeline see spunkybean and Don Kovaleski, and they might follow him because he said thank you and he approves of him. And then Scott Stinson, we engaged in a thing about TV dads because that was an article I wrote for spunkybean. All right, and then here are the tweets I've sent from 3 Disciplines. Here I'm following I just want to see what Gary V. This is exactly what Gary V. is tweeting all day. And you can see 2 hours ago, 2 hours ago, 2 hours ago. So I can just see people I'm interested. And then easily as that, I can shut it down, and I can't see what Gary V. is doing anymore. But if I go back here to the main page, my first column, there's some e-cards. If I want to see all the some e-cards tweets, I click on this, go to tweets, it opens me up a new window and shows me everything that some e-cards has tweeted recently. So this is how and why I use Seesmic, because I have everything open at my disposal all day for all 3 of my accounts, and I do need to add Mel Robbins in here as well. And then over here you can see you can expand and open. I'll close these up for you real quick. This is my accounts. I have Don Kovaleski, I have at 3 Disciplines, I have at spunkybean, and I have Don Kovaleski Facebook. I could add Google Buzz, I could add LinkedIn and Foursquare, and then that just links it all. Foursquare is like where you are in the world. I don't really want to use that yet. I haven't seen the benefit. So I want to send something from spunkybean. This is the home timeline. That's what spunkybean sees if that was a person. Here's where spunkybeans were mentioned. Here's the tweets I've sent. Here's where spunkybeans had favorites, direct messages like you and I did last night. Nate, lists you can make. Everything is right there at your disposal. It's a real easy reader. And then this is web-based, so it's a little slow, but then there's the desktop version, which you'll put on your laptop. The reason I use this is I can't install anything on my work computer, so I use the web-based one. and I can tweet and favorite and send and receive all day long. And then the next lesson will be looking at my BlackBerry. We'll look at the desktop on the BlackBerry and my next lesson for Nate, and you'll see Seesmic for my BlackBerry, and it's the same thing. The timeline, go to the top with T. It's the exact same thing I'm looking at on my screen there on my BlackBerry. So I hope that made sense. That's it for now. Good luck, happy tweeting, and social mediating. Later, Nate.